Panash's sword thuds to the earth as he collapses, senseless. A whip round to see Maisie emerge from behind a tree. A blowgun balances delicately in her fingers, the mouthpiece attached to the braided vine around her neck, her latest necklace. Emotionless, she watches Panache expire. "We'd live longer with the two of us," she says. "Guess you just proved that." I rub my neck where the dart entered Panache's. "Allies?" She thinks it over, nods, and pats a pouch at her hip. "But I've got a dozen poison darts left if you're feeling exclusive." "Noted. It sure is good to see you, Miss Donna." The cannon fires 3 times, shutting me up. I take in the dead bodies around us, for the first time, recognising that I've killed someone. 2 someones. Brutally. It was self-defence, no question, but I know that I can never go back to 5 minutes ago. Having taken their lives in that way, it's undoable. I pick up my weapons. Let's get out of here. Maisie considers the dead careers and relieves the District 4 girl of her dagger. Want anything else? No. I can't use a trident, and the idea of claiming Panache's sword, stained with newcomer blood, creeps me out. I'm not his heir, the new leader of the pack, nor do I want to present myself as such. We walk through the hedge, deeper into the woods. We walk away from the hedge, deeper into the woods. After a minute, the hovercraft flies over us, en route to collecting the bodies. The giant claw descends, lifting them 1, 2, 3 into the sky, as the craft swallows them up. We stop when they've all been retrieved. There's nothing to walk away from anymore. "You're bleeding," Maisie points out. 2 gashes. One from deflecting the trident, one from Panache's sword. "Sit down," she orders, and I sink into a fallen log, and she pulls a first aid kit from my black backpack. "I got this off a dead career. The bone cream kept me from going off my head." Her shirt sleeves have been cut off at the shoulder, and I note the burn marks on her arm, competing for space with the riding crop welts, and a range of cuts and bruises. Her skin a map of the abuse she's suffered since the reaping. Who would have ever believed that coddled Maisie Donna, of the nail polish and the velvet bows, would come to this, and face it with such fortitude? More used to say you never really knew who'd swim. More used to say you never really knew who'd swim in a flood. I guess the lava just burned everything up in its path? No, it wasn't even hot. It was some sort of gel that gave chemical burns if it got under your clothes, and turned hard and slippery as ice on the ground. Guess that's why there was no smoke, and I didn't burn up. Methodically, Maisie cleans the wounds and closes them with neat, even stitches. I'm not even surprised, really, after watching her create those artful tokens out of spit and string. When I'm sealed up again, she sits across from me and cocks my pack. "Any food?" "Oh, I've got piles of food, but tragically, no silverware." One side of her mouth curls, and she pulls out a pocket knife and a fork, twisted out of a piece of wire in her pocket. We're covered. Well, that's a game changer. "Are you free for dinner? Because I'm in possession of 2 very fine potatoes. Raw, but potentially bakeable. You?" 3 slices of dried beef and half a can of olives. 50-50? Close your eyes a minute. Maisie squints at me. "Why?" "Just do it." She closes one. Both of them. When she does, I pull out my glass, which has heroically survived the day, and empty the rest of the bottle into it, and hold it out. Okay, open up. At the sight of an elegant glass, the rich grape juice, she gives a little gasp. "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." "It's yours. Thank you for saving my life." She grins. 50-50 or no deal. Done. Because really, I want that juice like all fire. But you first. Maisie takes the glass, sniffs the bouquet like it's a fine wine, and takes a sip. Tears actually come to her eyes. Oh my word, I never thought I'd taste home again. She hands it back. "Now you." Evening falls, and we take our time, passing the glass back and forth, savouring every drop. I make sure she gets the last mouthful, and she wipes the glass with her handkerchief and tries to return it. "No, you keep it. It belongs with your table setting." She carefully stows it away in her pack. I lean back against the log, spent. "So, I've barely seen a soul. What's going on out there?" Maisie thinks for a minute, fingering a burn on her arm. "Hard to say. The arena's on the blink, but I'm sure you're aware of that. If you mean the other tributes, for all I know, we're the last 2 left." "Well, if it comes to that, I'm on borrowed time anyway. Don't think twice about using those darts." You think I couldn't? I look her straight in the eye, and I remember all the years of meanness, but I also factor in how she's transformed since the reaping. Defending Luella, helping Amper, and looking out for newcomers. I think you couldn't. For a second, a look crosses her face, young and vulnerable. Thanks for that. I don't think you could either. Just before the moment gets too embarrassing, the anthem begins to play and our heads tilt up. By my count, we were 26 last night, Maisie says. Yeah, mine too. If I keep track of the overall number, can you try to remember who's gone? You're better at details. I'll do my best. Maisie's fingers entwined in her necklaces as she hones in on the sky. Panache appears first, followed by all 4 kids from District 2. The fingers on my right hand press into the pine needles. Bad day for the careers. But then Ampertz leads off his entire team. Every single kid from District 3 is history. Bad day for everybody, says Maisie. Next, the boy and girl I just killed from District 4. Seems like the first time I've ever looked at them. I feel sick thinking of their families. Self-defense, I know. I focus on the head count. We're up to 11. A boy and girl from District 5. 5's out now, says Maisie. One of my doves, Astrid, who's the last boy from District 6. A boy from District 10. The girl from District 11 who isn't Chicory. Blackout. 16, I say. That leaves 10 of us. Only 2 careers left. Silka from 1 and Marie from 4. 8 of us newcomers. You, me, Hull and Chicory from 11. Maisie takes a deep breath, concentrating. Regina and the other girl from 7. I think her name's Autumn. 2 more. Who am I missing? One of my doves from 6. Right, Welly. And someone else. Can't place them right off. A boy, I think. He's dressed in red. District 10? She concludes. I remember Ampert swinging his lariat around in the gym. A boy from 10 had made it for him. Buck? That's it. You did great. I don't know how you remembered them all. I focus on their colours. No more purple, no more electric blue, no more orange or peach or yellow, and just a smattering of the rest of us. Only 2 careers left, though, I say. Wyatt would like those odds. At the mention of our odds maker, we both fall silent. 38 of us dead. 39 if you count Lulu. 40 if you count Woodbine. Just a smattering of us left. It doesn't seem real. Nothing here is real. The faint moon rises, casting a silvery light over our little clearing. I feel Maisie a few feet away, sense her pulse, the rise and fall of her chest, but she seems as impermanent as the rest of it. Possibly I have died, by poisoning, in the tunnel, on Panache's sword, and have moved on to one of Lenore Dove's worlds, where I continue to dream of life. Have you killed anyone besides Barbara and Angler? Maisie asks. Those must be the kids I fought from District 4. No, just them. You? Panache was my second. I took out Luke from District 1 a couple of days ago. He'd broken away from the pack with Camilla from 2. Pretty sure I got a dart into her, but the volcano might have finished her in the end. The thunk of the pot hitting the ground behind us makes us jump. Maisie retrieves the gifts and detaches the parachute. I hope it's food. She lifts the lid and a cloud of bean and ham hock soup steam dampens my face. Mags. Trying to reach us to let us know that we are not alone in our pain, to give us strength to go on. Oh my god. Tears fill my eyes, forcing me to admit my presence in the only world I know. Not the imaginary one, the one where I am in the Hunger Games for real. Like when my grandmother died, says Maisie. Mine too. I don't list all of my dead. It's not a competition. She unclips 2 spoons from the lid of the pot and hands me one. Silently we eat our soup. 50-50. The night air feels chilly. Maisie pulls her shirt down over her knees for warmth and hugs herself. But I can still see the goose splash on her arm. I can make a fire if you like, I offer. That'd be good if you don't think it's too dangerous. Not if one of us keeps watch. In fact, it could be a good thing, if the other newcomers find us. We can handle Marie and Silka, right? With you and those darts, I don't even think you need me. I collect wood and put my flint striker to work. Aren't you a sly dog, says Maisie, smuggling that in. Well, you know I like my pretty with a purpose. My voice catches a bit, reminding where I heard that. I concentrate on getting a fire going. Maisie smooths out a small tarp on the ground, settles herself on it, and rubs her hands over the blaze. You can sleep now if you want. I'm not tired. The circles under her eyes say otherwise, but I'm fading fast. Okay, but wake me up any time to take over. I secure my flint striker around my neck and spread out my hammock on the ground and stretch out, watching the tongues of fire dance. Works better if you close your eyes, she says. Yeah. I shift positions, but something seems unfinished. Like I never really thanked her for today. No, I did, with the juice. But that doesn't even begin to cover it. What do you say to the meanest girl in town who's become your friend? No more than a friend, really. A newcomer, being tributes and not killing each other. Looking out for each other, with no questions asked. That's family, I guess. You need to sleep while you can, Hamish. I know, but what I'm thinking, you and me. You remember what Ampert said when you made his token? There's a long pause before she says, Sure, I'll be your sister. Our hands reach out at the same time, clasp and then release. Night, sis. I roll over and let sleep take me. My dreams are nothing I want to remember, full of people I must never forget. I visit death after death. It's a relief to be woken up. Maisie has let me sleep most of the night. When we switch places, I'm determined to give her the same opportunity. Axe and knife at hand. I keep the fire burning with bits of fuel until the sun rises on our 5th day in the arena. My stomach grows so loud I'm afraid it might wake her. Last night's soup seems a distant memory. I should be watching the woods, but my eyes keep drifting upwards, hoping for a sponsor gift. Nothing would be too small. A piece of bread, a bit of cheese, and our water's getting mighty low. I focus on my plan. Obviously I was onto something with that hedge. They played me, but they also confirmed what I expected. I found the end of the arena. If I can get back to the shrubbery, I'll find a generator and try and hack it to bits. Time's a wasting, but Maisie deserves some shut-eye. To distract myself, I pull her tarp out from under my butt and attempt to fashion it into some sort of gizmo to catch rainwater, in the event any more should fall. My efforts resulted in a crooked funnel of sorts that I tie with vines at the point. It seems like something of an achievement until I hear her laughter. Made yourself a hat, did you? I'm kind of glad just to hear her laugh. This, I'll have you know, is a first-class water catcher. And you will eat those words. Will I? Exactly how are the raindrops supposed to find that tiny opening? She has a point. There's very little room for the rain to enter, which is no way to collect water. The water that fills our rain barrel has a roof to catch it to make sure it finds its way down the drain pipe. More surface area, you think? I'm thinking. Maisie holds out her hand for my funnel. She unwraps the top and flattens it out thoughtfully. It's about 4 by 4 feet with little rings in the corners for securing it. First, we'll need to find some way to mount it. She looks around and gathers some vines. I help her tie them into the rings. She borrows my knife and punctures a small hole in the very centre of the top. Now the water can run in there. I wish we had a tube of some kind. It would channel it into your jug. We take inventory of our stuff, which seems fruitless until I spy the wine glass. Remember how the juice filled the entire stem? How attached are you to this? Less attached than I am to water, says Maisie. Placing the glass carefully on the log, I chop off the base of the bowl, leaving the hollow glass tube. Maisie slides it into the hole, and the jagged glass does a nice job of holding it in place. That should work, she says. Now, all we need is a rain shower. She folds the top carefully and returns it to her pack. So what's the plan? I was thinking we might go back to the cornucopia to see if we can find any food that got left behind. Then we should look for other newcomers. Or do you think we should find them first? I think we should head north. North? Whatever for. I just have a feeling about it, I say, so the game makers won't suspect my next move. Hey Mitch, I need food. And I thought you weren't a breakfast person. Well, in here, I'm a breakfast, lunch and supper person. Never really knew what it was like to be hungry before. I mean, really hungry. It hurts. She presses her hand against her stomach, and it scares me. I'm familiar, but I'm bent on heading north. Can we at least try to locate the career packs? They must be hidden somewhere around here before they hunted you. Good thinking, but not for too long. 15 minutes and we go. Maisie gives me a probing look but begins the search. She suspected that I wasn't being upfront with her back in the apartment. I don't know if she credits me with the arena breakdown, but she still knows something's up that I'm not sharing. Should I tell her? How? When? Those cameras have to be on us. We go back to the site of the fight and spiral out, looking for any supplies the careers might have stashed. Sure enough, we find some tucked under the rock shelves, only a short distance away. 3 backpacks of various sizes. We dump them out on the ground and take stock of the contents. A hammock like mine, 2 empty water jugs, 3 handkerchiefs. A bottle of syrupy medicine for when you've been poisoned, a second tarp. A blowtorch, something like the one I've seen Tam Amber use. I press the lever, there's a click and 6 inches of flame shoot out. Maisie raises her eyebrows. Starting fires will be a cinch now. Almost makes me sad seeing Lenore Dove's gift become obsolete so quickly. Until the fuel runs out, I counter. We lay out the food with care. A flat tin of sardines, a banana with brown spots, 4 rolls, a jar of nut butter and about an inch left. Add my 2 potatoes and Maisie her 3 dried beef strip jerkies and olives. Could be worse. Okay, breakfast person, what will it be? I ask her. Maisie takes charge of the food, halving the rolls and spreading them with the nut butter, and artfully arranges slices of smushy banana on top. I'm not sure about the combination, but one bite dispels any doubt. This is prime, I say. Well, I am responsible for the more innovative flavour combinations at our shop. Did you ever try a hot pepper cherry taffy? I did. That was Mormore's favourite. She gets out her knife and fork and cuts off a piece of her roll. That was mine. Also the cream cheese cinnamon balls and the lavender suckers. The mayo was partial to those. Sounds like the job wasn't all bad, I comment. Ironic is what it is. I don't care much for candy. So many more interesting things to make. I wolf down my sandwiches before she's even finished her first and look around for something to do. I take the lids off of the career's water jugs, hoping for a few drops, but they're dry as a bone. Guess they were thirsty too. Stripping some vines off a tree, I rig the second tarp for water catching. No tube for this one, though. We'll make it work, says Maisie. With a second hammock, maybe we can both sleep up in the trees. Sure, it feels safer up there. If we go high enough, we won't need to be on watch, and we'll hear anybody coming. We pack up our booty, and she gestures for me to go first. After you. Trouble is, I don't know where we are. I head off like I do. Trekking through the woods might give me an opportunity to reorientate myself. Since I don't entirely trust the sun's positioning anymore, I'm hoping for a few landmarks to get my bearings. We run one into one about 10 minutes. The blueberry bushes with the broken branches where I hid my first night. That hedge really spit me out a long way from where I entered. That's where Lulu found me, I tell Maisie. Oh, blueberries. She pulls out a small bowl and begins to gather them by the handful, which alarms me. You know we can't eat those, right? Of course I do, but my poison's running low. Need to restock. I guess the darts didn't come poisoned. Leave it to Maisie to make them lethal. She mashes the berries into a juicy paste. Do you really need to do that now? It's already late morning and I'm getting fidgety. What's the big rush, Hamish? That shuts me up. She knows I've got a secret worth telling and she's using it against me. Like she did with Lenore Dove, I guess. Maisie drains some of the liquid into a heart-shaped glass vial that hangs from one of her necklaces. It's designed for perfume, so it's got a good tight lid to prevent evaporation. Just wish it held more. She twists the tiny lid back onto the heart. How did she die anyway, Lulu? Inhaling bee balm, I say. Ampert told me about Wyatt. He was trying to shield her. When he died, she ran away. I tried to follow her, but I lost her in the mountain. She wipes her bowl with some leaves. I wonder what they're thinking back home. But everyone's rooting for you. Maybe before the gong, but not anymore. You're the one who tried to stick with the newcomers. I know I'd be rooting for you. Trying's not doing. No, but it sure beats not trying. Of course I've been trying to accomplish any number of things, but I'm sure never made it on air. But trying wasn't doing here either. At least, I know which way to head now. Maybe at the hedge I'll be able to get some doing done. We hike along in silence, keeping an eye out for careers, newcomers and mutts, but meeting no one. Sometimes we pass a casualty of the flooding. trees that drip blood instead of sap, a gaping hole where something exploded, leaving a slimy, clear coating everything in its vicinity, a stump that belches sulphurous glowing gas, all of which we give a wide berth to. I stopped to examine a trio of dead fox mutts, fair as orange as sunset, who appeared to have died eating poisonous eggs. What do you think these things were designed to do? I asked. Steal our food, probably, asked Maisie. Or eat us, I think, like the squirrels. Who knows? Maybe those were programmed for me. Around midday we reached the hedge. It's a maze, I tell Maisie. No point in trying to outsmart it. It will spin you for miles. What's your plan? My plan is to cut straight through it and take a gander to see what's on the other side. I drop my pack to the ground and roll up my sleeves and pull out a long knife. Maisie surveys the hedge, its height, its length, then steps in closer for a look at the holly leaves and speckled berries. Something's not right about this hedge. She looks back over her shoulder, considering what's behind us, but that's nothing new. I was in it for hours yesterday, and the worst I got was lost. I think that's its purpose, I reassure her. She sets down her pack and pulls out the dagger she got from Barbara. We slip through the opening and take advantage of the 10 feet of straight path, then stop as it begins to curve towards the maze. I square my shoulders so I'm facing true north. Here, this is where we should go in. Probably the faster the better. Gotcha. Maisie steps up beside me. On 3? I nod and we count together, slowly raising our weapons. 1, 2, 3. We bring down our blades simultaneously, slicing cleanly through the greenery. But we've barely finished our first strokes when dozens of holly berries pop off their stems and swarm up our arms. We both give a holler and begin brushing them off. What the hell are these? I exclaim. Ladybugs, says Maisie. Ladybugs? I lift my hand to examine one. It's a ladybug, all right, or pretty near. All up and down my arms, the creatures latch onto the flesh, and within seconds they inflate to the size of acorns and begin exploding, splattering my face with blood.